Chidima Adechine has recently been trending, and I hope I didn't butcher her name, but she's been trending to be a Miss SA contestant. However, she seems to be of a, well, not seems to be, but she is of a Nigerian descendant. And the argument around her being a finalist and potentially somebody who could also win is the fact that she's not South African or that she's Nigerian and being represented in Miss South Africa. And the stories are not all clear yet, and everything is alleged at the moment. But if she is born in South Africa, she's South African born, and according to the law, she is a South African citizen, then one might argue that it is actually fair for her to be part of this Miss South Africa, right? And at the same time, the fact that she is of Nigerian descendant, what made it so controversial is actually a video of her with a group of people, and I'm going to assume that it was her family, and it was clearly all Nigerian people. So my question is, why is it, look, I have two opinions, but just a question first is, why is it there's so much focus on her specifically? Because if I think of Trevor Noah, for example, whom his father is a Swedish guy, is he Swedish or a Swiss from Switzerland? I think if that man, which is Trevor Noah's father, was a present father, we could have seen many videos of him with his Swedes. The people from Switzerland, what are they called? They call Swedes. I'm going to call them Swedes for the sake of this video. Excuse my ignorance. If his Swedes side of the family was present in his life, there could have been a lot of content of him with his family as well. And another one that I think about is Mtawarira, the Beast, who played for the Springboks in the World Cup representing South Africa. We didn't have a problem with any of that, right? And I think the reason we didn't have a problem with any of these people is because they represent themselves as South Africans first before anything else on the international market. When they introduce themselves to media outside of South Africa, they clearly state that they are South African. Not so sure about the Beast, but Trevor Noah is proudly South African when he goes out of Africa, right? With this lady, I think the outrage is maybe because there hasn't been clear evidence of her proudly representing South Africa. And I think for that, I will take the side of saying that I understand the outrage. And I think she could have done better, or should be doing better as at representing herself as a South African. The other side is, since she's South African born, or at least they claim that she's South African born, and according to the law, if she's South African born, even if their parents are not South African, and apparently or allegedly the mother is South African, this person should be a South African. This is a similar thing to Trevor Noah. It's just that in this case, we have a Nigerian father. Another part of what makes this such a volatile topic at the moment is the fact that unfortunately, to the detriment of her and her people, which is everyone from Nigeria and every Nigerian born in South Africa, is the fact that Nigerians have built a very bad reputation for themselves here in South Africa, among South Africans, particularly black people. But I don't think that everyone should be lumped into the same basket and labeled in a bad light. I think at this moment, because when was it? A day before yesterday, the Patriotic Alliance released a statement based on this. I will link it in the description. And it is not yet very clear what the verdict is going to be. But I think the outrage, 50-50. 50-50. 50% makes sense, 50% not so much sense if you compare the situation with many other foreigners that have represented South Africa, or people with foreign descent that have represented South Africa on the world stage. On her side, I think it is very important, and not just for her, but anybody else that will be born here or has already been born here in South Africa of parents that are not South Africans. If you say that you are South African or you want to represent South Africa, you have to clearly represent South Africa and proudly do that so. To the point that if you were to be drafted into the South African military and they say you are of Nigerian descent, but South Africa is at war against Nigeria, you are representing South Africa. Drastic, I know. I actually heard this from Penson Mlotra yesterday, and I agreed with him, and which is why I actually mentioned this as well. Is that if you are from Madagascar, or your parents are from Madagascar, and you represent yourself as a South African, even in times of war, you must be that, a South African, against what could be your ancestral line. So I don't really have much of a comment about this debacle that's happening at the moment. It's just a matter of, I think we should look at it from two sides. The side of she's actually born in South Africa, if she is actually born in South Africa, and the other side is she's not representing herself as a South African, but she wants to benefit from winning something in South Africa, which is Miss South Africa. Even if she doesn't win, the fact that she made it in, if she makes it top 5, if she makes it top 3, doors are opening for her. Even if she is disqualified, doors have already opened for her for trending like this. And I think for now, let's just wait and see what is actually happening before we all give our opinions on what must happen or what shouldn't happen. Because I also saw a petition of people wanting Miss SA to remove her, and it has had more than 15,000 signatures at the moment so far. So let us just wait and see what the verdict is, what the truth is, and what is not the truth. And yeah, time will only tell. Let's have a conversation. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one.